conversation with the amazingly and gorgeous Beverly C. Good morning, Beverly.
Good morning. Hello, everybody.
Looking far too glam.
Great to see you. Sorry, love?
Looking far too glam, as always.
Thank you. I had to get up so early to get my hair looking nice.
I gave up. After 16 weeks, it's too late. So we've got, I'm really excited to talk to you, because we always end up having such a riot. So we just got to try and keep this on the straight and narrow. We'll try. So we're going to talk about the current situation, because obviously we can't not. Obviously we now have guidelines. We have a date, so 48 hours, and salons in England at least can open, which is very exciting. But I also want to talk to you about twice British Hairdresser of the Year and career highlights and that kind of stuff. So let's kick off with here and now. So I know you spent all day in the salon yesterday preparing, and are you ready?
We are ready. A couple of little things that we're doing. It's like everyone, you have all this time off, and then it suddenly is upon you, and it's like, it's not a rush, but you're really very, very concerned to get it right, not just for your staff and keeping your staff safe, but also to keep the clients safe as well. And because things change, you're always worried that you may have missed something. We spent all day yesterday, and Jordana was there heading all of that. We had our reception staff who've been in all week, wading their way through all the sort of backlog of requests and emails and forms and everything. So we went through the whole thing, and we then put all the stations out and then did a walkthrough video. Jordana did a video for all the staff, so they can see the whole way in which we're going to be working, which is slightly different. But then what we've done is we've organised for all the staff to come in an hour and a half before our first appointment on Saturday, and we've put that over towards 10 o'clock. And that gives us the time to be able to walk through everything and get them to realise how slightly different it's going to be.
And to familiarise.
But, I do have to say, the hair, for the industry to shut down for so long has been very hard on hairdressers. It doesn't matter whether you're self-employed or not. And also, salon owners. And I do wish all of you the best of luck. And I think, to be honest, sometimes when you have something like this happen, and business have been, supported to a certain degree with the government, but it's still harsh. It's been a hard time. And I think this is a golden opportunity for us as salon owners to say, look, guys, this has been tough on the business. We need everyone to just give that little extra so we can all as a team get this salon back on its feet again and busy like we were before we shut down. And I think if you ask for everyone's help, they will understand that, and they'll give their 100%. Don't just try and do everything by yourself. You need to include the team.
Have you got a mixture of anxiety and excitement about coming back from the team? Because I think
you will do, because you're going to have different personalities. So some people are really excited and not too concerned, and other people are very worried. And I think that's why the safety issues that are in place have to be explained. So don't say you have to wear a visor and they go, okay, do I have to wear a mask? You have to explain it. You have to explain about contamination. And I know from my own experience that I had COVID-19 very mildly. So mildly, in fact, I didn't think I had it. But I have the antibodies, which I was tested only 2 weeks ago. Now, I'm going to give a little word of advice here. If you've got the antibodies, and any of your members of staff have, or you have clients that say, don't worry, I've got the antibodies, that's fine. However, they still have to practice really safe hygiene and washing your hands, because surface to surface will spread it to somebody else. So just be aware of that, as we all are in the salon when we open on Saturday. So good luck to everybody.
And with clients, I mean, everybody wants to be the first appointment. You're obviously still rebooking people in. And are you, I know they don't have to, but are you asking clients to wear masks?
We are. We're asking the clients to wear masks. Should they arrive without one, for whatever reason, we have masks for them, temperature checks and all sanitising areas. So yes, we have masks that we have, and I think all salons need to have them just in case clients don't bring their own.
Yeah, and you're going to temperature check team and customers, are you, daily?
Absolutely, temperature checks on team, customers, anyone who comes in or out of the building. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We touched on Jordana, but we'll come back to Jordana because I want to talk about you first. So twice British Hairdresser of the Year, back to back in 2001 and 2002.
It was a while ago, wasn't it?
It was a while ago, but you know what? It was a while ago, but it feels like yesterday.
Yeah, I know it does. It was, it was a very special time, I have to say.
And those images,
I remember that well.
Those images are as beautiful now and as relevant because they were timeless. Yes,
my 2001 collection was all very ethereal. It was lovely, and I do look at it now, and I think it still has that sort of. It still has some relevance, but it is a bit timeless. It's a bit classic, but yeah, it's lovely.
It's just so elegant, and you're known for that kind of beautiful, elegant work. I think that's kind of the Beverly C stamp, isn't it? That's your signature, and I think it still is. I mean, you travel the world. You work with Goldwell. You mentor, I know, and you do much of that unpromoted and unannounced, as it were, because it's really passionate to you. But how do you balance now, kind of the mentoring, the work with the product house, the salon? How do you make all that come together?
Well, I'm very lucky. I mean, I went through a period of time early in my career from when I started, which was 17, right through until probably 2005 or 6, 2007, traveling like madly. I mean, ridiculous, to the point where I was doing 4 countries a month.
With a young family?
Yes.
Okay.
It was tough. And I always thought, this is amazing to be doing all these shows and seminars and everything on a global level. And one day it won't, it will diminish, but it never seemed to diminish, which was lovely. But you do get burnout from that, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I was very lucky in 2007 to talk to Nick Woods, who was just took over Goldwell at the time.
Yeah.
And I made a really big decision to then say, right, okay, what I want to do is to be a little bit more UK based. So I went over to Goldwell, and they've been amazing. They're such an incredible company to work with, and their colours are exceptional. And I've been very lucky to be very integrated into their educational system. But rather than do all the big shows, which don't happen so much now, it's very much seminar education. It's like, it's not one-to-one, but it's smaller groups. So I have a position now where I'm in the salon for 2 days a week, sometimes 3, depends. And the rest of the time I'm out there mentoring or working with Goldwell. I've worked alongside Fabulous, and I've been one of their ambassadors for the last 15 years.
Yeah.
And I still do a lot of work with Fabulous. So those 2 companies, Fabulous and Goldwell, are very, very dear to my heart.
Yeah.
But I do a lot of work for them behind the scenes rather than in the front. And I'm lucky that I don't have to be in the salon 5-6 days a week. So I'm there only 2. So I have this incredible balance of work, which I feel very blessed actually to have that.
But you've worked hard for it. And as Michelle Griffin says, she definitely has a signature. It's all amazing work. So, she's right. Michelle. Do you have a favourite place to operate? Is it the salon? Is it the shows? Is it the education? I mean, is there
a favourite place? I'd love to be able to tell you, yes, I do. I don't. And I'll tell you why I don't. It's because if I was to do one thing, if I was to teach every day, and I know this from having done that before, many years ago, I used to teach at Morris. And by Friday, your brain is shredded, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I think working in the salon every day, I think, sometimes that can be difficult.
Yeah.
If you're going to do that for 20 years without a break. I have the beauty of being able to come in and out.
Yeah.
So I do love going into the salon and being able to cut hair without explaining what I'm doing.
Yeah. He's just cutting hair
without someone watching over me.
Yeah.
So it's quite nice to have that relax. I do love going back to the salon. I do enjoy that. I find it quite relaxing. I don't find it particularly hard work. And you know, sometimes if I'm on a photo shoot, I might be on a shoot or mentoring a shoot. I always find that I love it, but I'm always slightly more, what's the word? That's where I'll, not the nerves, but I will have a slight more stress level. I'm not a stressy person, you know that.
No, you're not.
But my stress levels will go up on a shoot because I know how much it costs.
Yeah.
And every hour, how much that's costing. So, and you've got to get the result at the end of it. But I absolutely love it. And that's why I love mentoring for the Gold Well Colours in.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. Yeah. And clients, I mean, you must have clients that have been with you forever, haven't you?
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I've got clients who've been coming to me for like 30 years.
So have they been talking to you during lockdown? I mean, have people been asking for advice and what can I do to cover the greys and the roots? And
yes, they have. I mean, I've been inundated with, because a lot of my clients I know very, very well, so they have my number. So yes, they've all been having a right laugh over the phone about the grey hairs and stuff. So I've been giving them lots of advice on how to cover that until, you know, using various sort of semi-permanent, you know, almost like the makeup and the sprays and everything. Yeah. To cover it until to get back. And I just had to plead with them, don't box dye your hair, you know. And I know some of them have reached towards that, as I'm sure a lot of hairdressers out there watching this now will think, I've got a few clients who've done it. Yeah. It's funny because you look on the TV and you see various sort of celebrities that do live news channels, and you know they've got the old box dye out because you can see it's 2 shades darker than it's supposed to be. Black roots and blonde ends. It's great.
They've definitely got that kind of stripe thing going on. For sure.
So, and I think you know,
I think ever since I've known you, education and kind of share, you've always been the most inclusive person I've come across, in terms of you're always prepared to give people time and share and talk to them and help them, give them advice. That's obviously been with you right from the start. So for people that don't know, just give us a potted history of how it started, because I was fascinated by this.
Yes, well, I started at an academy which was called Morris Masterclass. It was around where Annual International Jingles and were around at the time, and Sassoon as well. There was the 4 main schools, and it was a place where you would do a 7-month course intensive like Sassoon. Then I went on and did master courses and all the rest of it, and then I did the final course that I did, and I was mentored all the way through this course by an incredible man. I hope he's watching this now, Franklin Massahood. And Franklin was the artistic director of Morris at the time. Okay. And he was a formidable character. When he walked through the school, I'd look at him like, it was like having Gordon Ramsay around you without
real
swearing.
Presence.
Yeah, never swore, but he had this presence. And at the end of doing my course, he turned around to me and he said, look, you passed, and you know, exceptionally fantastic and all the rest of it. And he said, Beverly, you're going to be working for the school now, and we've taken you on as a teacher for all the 7-month courses. And he said, I'm going to give you a bit of advice. He said, all this knowledge you've gained, he said, from here forward in your career, remember this. And he said, knowledge is a gift, and it's a gift that must be shared with others and not held back. And I just thought, wow, it was such a statement. And I've always remembered it, and I've lived by it ever since. And I absolutely love being able to go to a salon or have a course at Goldwell where you teach. And within that day, you know you've made a difference to somebody's work experience. And you've given them something that's very empowering, because knowledge is very empowering. So he taught me that, and I've passed that on to Jordana, and she feels very strongly about it as well.
So let's talk a little. We can't talk to you and not talk about Jordana, because she's certainly carrying on the family dynasty. I mean, she is doing fantastically well and is an absolute joy to be around. And that's not just from me. I know our team love her, and everyone that comes across her loves her. How did that start? Because she didn't start in hairdressing, did she?
No, she didn't. She loves. She had a hunger for knowledge, so
Yeah.
she wanted to go to university, and she ended up choosing to go to university to study law.
Yeah.
Which is a really tough subject, as you know. So she came out of that 3 years in, passed with flying colours, had obviously brain freeze from it, and said, I just need literally a year off. So she went to the salon with her dad, because I wasn't there at the time, and just started to help him with the salon. And she came down to me and she went, it's amazing. The business is fantastic. It's just so buzzy and this, that, and the other. And that's how she decided to make a very big decision to go into the industry. So we had a very strong chat with her and said, look, if you want to do this, that's fine. But you have to put your 100%. You've got to start from scratch.
Yeah.
So I then took out a lot of time over a 3-year period and taught her one-to-one.
Right.
And she was amazing. I was a bit worried because I thought, you know, it's like trying to teach your child how to drive a car. You're like, I know what I'm doing.
Don't tell me.
But I have to say,
I cannot.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, I can.
From day one, when we started, and we started this in my kitchen here actually, for 7 weeks, and from that day onwards, all the way through her training, we never had, I honestly never had one cross word. We just laughed our way through this, and it was very serious and very, very strict in a way, but in a way you have to be like that if you're going to try to teach something. And but it was amazing, and I could see from very early on that she had the eye for hair and the passion for it. And you can teach somebody as much as you like. If they don't take that and run with it, they'll do nothing with it. So credit to her that she has just exploded onto the industry, because she's worked very, very hard. And
I was going to say, she's working really, really. I mean, she's been the one I've seen probably most consistently throughout lockdown, doing dolly heads and just, and again, sharing, mentoring, and just being there as a sounding board for people, which she obviously gets from you. Yeah,
and I'm glad I think she's picked that up from me, but I think people really appreciate that. And it's not about, you know, I'm going to show you something because I want to make a name for myself. It is about sharing. And I have to say that I'm so impressed with the industry as a whole, that during lockdown, people, you know, knock social media all the time, and they say it's got its bad points. Everything's got its good and bad points. It doesn't matter. But social media, thank God, has been a lifesaver through this. And we are one of the only industries in the UK, and certainly the industry across the globe as far as hair, that has sat down, Jordana being one of them, and many, many others, and said, right, I'm going to share my knowledge with all of you. Anthony Mascolo's been doing it. I mean, the guy's a global icon, constantly on there saying, this is how I cut this, watch this. And everyone sharing and motivating us, you know, as an industry, without any form of, you know, wanting something back in return. And that shows you how incredible our industry is. That, I might add, doesn't happen. You might think this happens overseas. It doesn't. Really? It doesn't happen overseas very much. No. As the UK, we've always, and this started with the BHA. The BHA has made people come together and work as a unit together and share ideas. And it's unheard of in other places across the world. They don't do that.
I think there's not been many positives, but one positive has been how the industry's come together as a community and done that. And I really hope that continues post lockdown, that people continue to share and, you know, and just offer help and support. And it's interesting, you talk about overseas. So Kim Marshall's watching from Australia. She said, I cannot imagine what you've all been through with the mandatory closure, which we didn't have here. We didn't have that experience. She said, wishing you and all of the team a strong, successful day on Saturday and leave together, which is a lovely sentiment. So, and I know from we can obviously see where the audience are coming from. We get a lot of people we've done lots of stuff over the pandemic from overseas. So, but I didn't realize it was just not as prevalent in the other kind of strong hairdressing.
There's big names across the globe.
There are.
Every country has really big names. What I'm saying is that I mean, hundreds and hundreds of people have gone online, and I know that there's businesses that have been directly contacting other businesses to help them through the lockdown. You've been helping. You've been helping on a monetary level, so many salons and people through this. And that's what I mean, that coming together and literally helping each other from a narcissistic point of view as well as a business point of view. It's quite something. And the UK is very, very good at that.
And I mean, obviously Jordana's different because she's family. But when you're on these programs, or whether it's through Goldwell or through the salon, what do you look for in kind of new talent today? What is it that you just think will make somebody different? Different as in they'll stand out and go on to do bigger things.
Well, I think that, you know, of course you have to have a talent and you have to have good training and stuff like that. But that's not what it takes. What it takes is that passion. It's the passion for the industry, because it doesn't matter if you specialize. You could be specializing in only color. You might specialize in just, you know, photographic work or whatever you want to specialize in. If you have a passion and a dedication and a drive to go, doesn't matter, everything is going against you and you drive your way through it. That's what makes somebody stand out. And sometimes you have to suffer those hurdles. And I think hurdles along your journey are very important, because it gives you the it makes you stronger. And if you look at things like celebrity SAS, I mean, I'm sure if you've seen that, the stuff they have to go through, those people, I mean, it's just like, it's horrific. But the hurdles they have to do, it's horrific. I think I'd die by the first episode.
I wouldn't volunteer, to be fair.
Not what I know.
Not my thing.
But the hurdles they have to go through for the achievement at the end, is the psychology behind that is quite important. So you know, every time you go out into this industry, it might be difficult. You're going to come across hurdles that we've all got a very big hurdle to overcome right now, and that's coming back from 3 months off. Massive hurdle. But you know what? This time next year, when we're through it and over it, it's going to make us stronger as a company, stronger as characters and everything else. And I think those hurdles are a little important thing to experience as you're going through.
I think you're absolutely right. And I think the pandemic has also raised the profile of hairdressing like nothing else. In actually, it's an essential service, not just a want. It's, you know, hairdressing has had more airtime across the national press, the television, about when a hairdresser is open than pretty much any other sector. And for me, it's not just about the technical skills, it's about the relationship people have with their hairdresser and their therapist. Beauty therapy is the same, and it's a nightmare beauty can't open at the moment. But it is a relationship, because you share a lot, you know, and all the research says that some people, if they're honest, are much keener to get to see their hairdresser than they are to see family once we come out of lockdown, because they want it's a real it is a relationship business, isn't it?
It is a relationship business, and we have I think our clients, have even more of a high regard for us as hairdressers, because they have missed us as people, but they made them realize how important we are for their self-esteem and their well-being and how they feel about themselves. So we're all fantastic, I have to say, to all these people out there. But yes, I think hairdressers, I don't think you realize how much of an effect mentally we have on our clients.
It's
from
huge.
A perspective that we're a soundboard for them. And we do a lot of, we do help people on a mental level. And I think that's really come out of all this. And that's why people have missed us so much. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, and I think the industry needs to grab hold of that and run with it, and just keep promoting itself as that professional, fantastic place where it's not just about looking good, it's about well-being, because how your hair, you know, how you feel is very much impacted by what you see. I mean, we were joking this morning, weren't we? But it is very, you don't feel confident if you feel your hair's not looking so great, and you're just not It's part of your armor for most of us. It's part of your armor that you put on to go out and face the world.
It is absolutely true. I did a talk with 365 last year on emotional intelligence in the summer. And part of that is, yes, people will they won't often remember many things about experiences, but they might forget what you did and how you did it, to be honest. But what they won't ever forget when they visit you is how you made them feel.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the one thing, is how you make somebody feel. The emotional intelligence that we have with our clients, without knowing, it's quite formidable and it's quite powerful. So, and I think a lot of people have missed that lovely connection that we have, because we are the best breed out there. You are. Well, hairdressers are the best.
Can't disagree. But we've got lots of people saying, so you've got Irene Michael from Goldwell saying, hi Bev, lovely to see you. Emil McMahon sending his love to you. Tony Picho, and he agrees actually that sharing is knowledge. Michael Stannard, it's an honour to work with you and Jordana.
That's lovely.
Then bless her, Samantha Jane Congreve. I've got lots of clients who have box dyed their hair over lockdown, and then there's multiple emojis that you can well imagine after that. Which is, I share her pain. There is, Elaine Price is saying, are there any guidelines regarding an under 16 helper working in the pandemic? She's been working on a Saturday and 15 years old. Now, I've read the guidelines. I think that's probably a question for the Hair and Barber Council or the National Hair and Beauty Federation. And the same with the question from Samantha Shepherd about local council licenses, because I think it is by council, it varies on what you have to do with registering a salon. So Samantha, you need to speak to either the Hair and Barber Council or the NHBF and ask them, or contact your local council, because not every council, they all work very differently, which is fairly frustrating. So for you, who are your kind of hair heroes?
Oh wow, my hair heroes. Well, obviously, and it doesn't matter, if you weren't around when it all started. Sassoon was obviously massive. And actually, when I first started hairdressing, it was all very precision. It was ultra precision work, which was strange, because I've sort of, even though I do precision work, I have a softness to most of my work. And
your style has a softness for sure.
And I do razor cutting courses and all that stuff. But it was all about precision. So absolutely, Trevor has always been somebody I've massively looked up to. And Anthony from Tone & Guy, he was just, even though we're similar, he's slightly older than me, but from a company of Tone & Guy, where they started in Davis Street, and then just, I've always had an enormous admiration for Anthony. But I get inspired, that's when I was younger and first came into the industry, but I get very inspired by so many people globally, because it was very country to country. Now it's more global. And we have the most incredible talent in our industry across the globe.
Yeah, we do.
And in a way, the industry as a whole on a global level should be really proud of how we've influenced fashion and how we have created an industry which is, not just an incredible artistic industry, but it's a very formidable business. So it's an incredible business to be involved in. So we're very lucky.
It's interesting because Michelle Gallup Max says, I feel as hairdressers, we also get comfort from clients. Not only do we give comfort, she said it's an all-round good feeling. So
absolutely right.
Carla Coulter-Real, amazingly positive and motivational wise words. And then there's a lady on here. So hang on, let me find her. She was saying that she's nervous. Samantha Jane Congreve was saying she's nervous. She's been in the industry for 30 years and she's a little bit nervous about going back to work. She's not on her own. I mean, I think there's a lot of people that are nervous.
That you absolutely have every right to be nervous to go back. I have to say that, and I'm not particularly, I'm one of these people that faces things head on. I was nervous. So that shows you something. Now, I had the first time I went back to work, which wasn't that long ago, which was not in the salon, it was for QVC.
Yeah.
So I went back live on QVC for Fabulous, and they had this policy and these documents and what you do's and don'ts and all this. Yeah. So I got into the building, and I'm like, okay, so they're taking the temperature, and I'm wash your hands, and then I have to open the door with this special thing, and there were the arrows everywhere, and I was like, oh my God. Yeah. And for the first hour, I was like, this is really weird. I don't get this. And I have to say, within 3 hours, I relaxed. Yeah. It's not until you get back into the salon that, with all the protective gear that the staff and the clients are going to wear, and the screens you may or may not put up because you may have distanced the chairs, you'll start to relax once you get back in. So, you know, just give yourself a few days to get acclimatized to the new way of working, and you'll feel much better. But you have to be strict with it. It's lovely if they're all strict with it at the beginning. Stay strict with your policies until we have that vaccine, or until this bloody COVID-19 disappears. And you're going to be fine.
Now, I want you to post a picture of you in a visor, okay? You need to do that for me, because for those people watching, it's a standing joke that Beverly always looks gorgeous, and I'm like, I just need to see the visor pic. So
I'm going to have the visor.
Yeah. No, will you?
I'm going to grow my fringe over the top of the visor.
The top. Of course you are. Of course you are. Hang on. So, I've not read this, but I'm going to go for it. Kim Marshall, I'd like to ask Beverly if she would consider doing a post-interview with HJ to report on what experiences happen after reopening, as a way to keep supporting the hairdressers for what may be ahead. More hurdles and challenges. Beverly talking could make people feel reassured for what may come for them, and have our kind of, you know, hairdressers like you kind of just also sharing it. Well, I'm very happy to do this again, because you and I talk forever.
I'm very happy to do it.
We've been very well behaved this morning, can I say? I think we've been very well behaved this morning.
We're just not well behaved when we're not live, are we?
No, not always, not always. So couple more questions, just something I wanted to ask. Social media, we mentioned it before, and it has been, it's kept people going. Do you think there is a danger, though, that it can give clients potentially unrealistic expectations of what can be achieved in the salon?
Do you know what? I think people have said this. I actually don't think so. And the reason I don't think it gives unrealistic expectations, because, you know, people put filters on it, and then they'll brighten it up, and they'll change the tones or whatever. But people, you know, as hairdressers, when we do photo shoots, and we put a shoot together, sorry, you know this as well as I, you'll then go and do it on post, you edit, and you can change things. So it's no different from a professional photographer changing it to somebody else. I don't think it does. I do think it gives people more variety of what they can get. It gives an idea, it's an inspiration. And I think it drives a lot of business through the door, to be honest. And I think the more people use social media to reach out to their area or their demographics, the better, because it's your platform on social media. It's like having your own little magazine for your clients in the area. So use it. I don't think it's misleading at all. No.
I wish I had a filter to get rid of the hay fever this morning, but anyway, we're just going to have to go with that. So apologies for everyone that I have been having a tissue in my hand the whole time. Lovely from Jane Emery Turner. She said, love this morning, great lockdown listening, ready to open, feeling much more confident. So thank you for that. I think there's a lot of love for you, so you need to read the comments afterwards. There's an awful lot of love for you. But one thing, finally, I wanted to ask you, and I'm going to say this without laughing. What would you say now to your 18-year-old self?
What would I say? I'd say a few things.
Go on then.
No, I'll tell you what. One of the things
share the ones you can share.
What I would say is, because I really started very early in the industry, and I was teaching at 19 onwards, and with the business and everything. And one of the things I would say to myself is, for God's sake, be patient. Rome wasn't built in a day. You don't have to work like that to achieve what you need to achieve. Because I was literally 6-7 days a week for 9 years. I didn't have a holiday for 9 years, which is ridiculous, to be honest. So what I was doing was working so hard and forgetting to live a little. And I look back on that and I go, well, that was really stupid thing to have done, to be honest.
But look where it's put you.
Yeah, it has. But I think it's really important that you get a very good work-life balance, but it's very important to enjoy the journey. And that's one thing I learned from making that mistake, that don't set the goals too high, set small goals and enjoy the journey up to the goal. Pat yourself on the back once you've got to there, and then do the next one. Don't try and do that. Because you end up feeling like you've never achieved anything. So set realistic goals and enjoy the journey to them, but make sure you have a break, because life is also very important.
And is there any goal you've not yet achieved?
Any goal? Nobody, I mean, listen, everyone's got goals they haven't achieved, but have I got a lifelong ambition to achieve something I haven't? No, I'm very, very content with, and I really appreciate the career I have had and are still having. And there's a lot of people, you're one of them, to thank for that, and the amount of support that I've had. And massive thanks to Goldwell and to Bablis, who have been really supportive, and I've loved continuing working with them, not just throughout this whole period, but for the last 13, 15 years. And we've still got a lot of work to do, and we've got a lot of things that we've got in the pipeline, so I'm really looking forward to that. And I'm having a really, really good time. My life-work balance is amazing, and I'm very thankful for that.
Thank you so much. I have to say, it's very easy to support lovely people, and I mean that sincerely, because you are always a joy to be around.
Thank you.
There is a huge amount of love and respect for you in the industry, you know that. So that will always continue. Thank you so much for this morning. I hope to see you, actually physically see you soon. Visors on.
And we'll do, visors on, and we'll do a catch up on after lockdown.
Definitely. So
Q&As and stuff.
We could do a Q&A in a month, 6 weeks time, and people can then see how it's going, what's worked and what hasn't worked, because I think it will be a learning as we go through the next few weeks.
Absolutely. But can I just say to everyone out there, good luck with opening, good luck with your businesses, one step at a time, be strict with the staff and the clients. And also looking forward to seeing everyone at Goldwell again very soon.
Definitely. All right. Thanks so much, Beverly. Lots and lots of love, and I'll see you soon. Thank you to everybody for watching.
Take care.
And good luck on Saturday in England, and then the slightly later dates in the rest of the country. So she's off. Thank you. Take care. Bye. Bye.